Today we're going to teach you how to make your own rock climbing handholds. This is a store-bought, and this is one we custom made here. This is about a $20 piece. This is about $1 to 50 cents piece. How we're going to do that is you need to purchase some fiberglass resin. You can get this at Home Depot or Lowe's, about 35 bucks for a gallon. You're going to need some hardener. Comes with some, but I would recommend purchasing some extra. You're going to need some sanded grout. Pick out any color you want. This one is white, so we can mix some additional colors in there with it. You need some kind of mixing container. I like to use just a Stop and Shop plastic bag. You can have a mold, or you can mold something like a hand, anything you want really for a handhold. Here we have some color to mix in with the white, just to spice things up a little bit. You need some kind of measuring utensil. We're going to use just a glass Snapple bottle, 16 ounces. Important to have the ounces on there. You need some WD-40. I recommend a stainless steel 3/8 washer and some clay. This you're going to basically pick up at like a Michael's craft store or something like that. So the first step is we want to make our mold. And in this case, I'm going to make a mold with my fist just to make it unique. And so you can start by getting the clay probably about 1 inch wide. Go. And then decide what you want to do for shape of the hand. Go. It's easier to do somebody else's fist versus your own, but you can do it. A little bit of time, patience. Important to make sure that there's no holes for the resin to seep out of. So if there are, just add a little bit more, patch it up. The closer you can get it to your hand, the better design you're going to get on there, and it's just going to look better. Also, if you can get it nice and tight, that's important too. Okay, feels pretty good. Now what I got here is I have some box here with some bubble wrap. That's just going to keep my clay sitting upright so I can fill it with resin. Okay, I'm slowly going to try to take my hand out, trying not to mess up the shape inside as much as possible. Look inside, check for any holes. There is a little bit of a hole here, so I'm just going to get some extra clay and fill that. We don't have to redo the whole thing. Just push inside here. There we go. The rest of it looks good. Now I'm going to set it upright. Let gravity do the work. And use this bubble wrap here to hold it upright also. So now we have the mold set. And now we're going to mix in together a concoction here. So first thing we're going to do is get the sand measured out. Now what you want is a 60-40 mix, with 60% being sand and the rest is going to be your resin. So for 60-40 here, I'm going to fill about 10 ounces worth of sand and 6 ounces worth of resin. So on this glass, that's going to be basically right up to past the sticker. You could go, those measurements don't have to be perfect, but as close as you can get to that mixture, the best, have a really good drying time and just be really solid. Still add some more here. There we go. Good, we have a little bit excess, but that's not bad. So pour that in. Okay. So there is our 10 ounces of sand. Put that sand back. Now we're going to do our resin. So we need about 6 ounces of resin, which is going to be just below the sticker. Now for this stuff, you definitely want to do it outside, and if you can wear a mask, that's best, because this stuff is pretty toxic as far as smell is concerned. So definitely outside with a fan on if possible. Try not to inhale too much of it, because it'll give you a headache pretty fast. Okay, so we have this filled. Now basically what we want is 10 drops for every ounce. We have 6 ounces, so we're going to do 60 drops here. Okay, that's about 60, and you can add a couple extra drops. A little bit more hardener is better than too little. If you have too little, what will happen, it'll just take a long time to dry. It'll be very tacky for a long period of time. So a little extra hardener is definitely better than too little hardener. So you're going to close the cap here, shake it up nice, get a really good mixture. Okay, it's mixed up nice. Now, before I mix this in, let me get some of this blue paint. I want just add some color in there. Stir this up. You can mix whatever color you want in. Just have it ready, because once this goes in here, it's going to go pretty quick. So I'm going to put it in here. Make sure you get it all out. You can use a stick to mix it up, or your stir. Just mix up the stick a little bit. What I find is if you take your bag out and mix it really nice. There we go. It's getting a nice mixture now. Much quicker than stirring it. If the bag has a little bit of a leak, you might get a little bit of a leak, but that's not that bad. It's too much better. I'm stirring it with a stick. Alright, it's kind of like a doughy substance now. I'm going to add in just a little bit of color. And I'm just going to kind of swirl it around here. Okay. I'm not going to overwhelm it, but there we go. Now I'm going to pour it into our mold that we made. And see how it comes out. Careful when you go into the mold. You want to try to get as much in the mold as possible. There you go. It's going to be nice. And you can add the washer ahead of time. Unfortunately, I forgot this, so we can add it afterwards also. That's fine too. And washer is going to give handhold extra stability. Squeeze any excess right in your container there. And it's going to take 2 to 3 hours to dry. So we'll let that dry, come back. Should be hard. We'll add the washer, and then we'll mount it on the rock wall. And there it is. Alright, here we're gonna, it's been drying for now for about 2 hours. So we're gonna open it up, see how it looks. Slowly take a look. It looks pretty solid here. So we're gonna open this up. Yep, looks nice. Now I'm gonna just take the edges off here with a razor. And I'm gonna need to drill this part out right here. So we'll do that in a second. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is going to razor off any excess here. It is really hard, which is a good thing. Just break it, pops right off. Get this excess clay out of here. You can actually see the washer right now. Just using a razor to get that out. Beautiful. You can see the washer in here, which is right where it should be. Should be nice and attached. Now what we're going to do, we have this drill bit, and it should fit right in the middle here. And it's going to be a little bit hard to get in. And this drill bit should be the same width as your bolt. So I'm going to drill it straight through. Beautiful. And the fact that this was not easy to drill through is actually a good thing. It's going to mean that his handhold's very, very strong, which is what we want. Now what I'm going to do is go up and mount the handhold on my rock wall and just see how it feels. And it still is a little tacky, so it might need a couple days to fully dry, but it's pretty much good to use now. So I'll show you that in a second. Okay, now we're going to mount the handhold here up to my rock wall. Basically get the bolt right size, should be hanging out a couple inches, no more, no less. Get it lined up. You don't want to de-thread the screw hole, so I kind of pull out on the rock while I'm pulling it in. The bolt. Get a nice tension here. And you probably want to check it out for a couple days, just retighten. Feels nice and sturdy though. Goes down now. Give it a test climb. See how it feels. Still a little tacky, so I'm going to keep my gloves on. Yeah, feels real nice. Sweet. So, that's how you make your own rock handhold. And that costs about probably 50 cents to $1 versus buying them online. They can go upwards of $20 to $30 for a single handhold. So that'll save you a lot of money there.